on 3 o'clock, everybody. It's like, I'll give you the numbers and everything. The ones that are still alive, there's only 3. So this is a song about a British guy, actually. As far as I know, there are a lot of songs, very emotional and nice songs written about dead musicians and stuff. Lots of nice songs about dead musicians. But in the whole history of rock and roll, I can't think of a single song that was written about a sound engineer. Can anybody think of this? I'm going to dedicate this to you because that seems ridiculous to me. Because like the last 70 years of rock and roll would be pretty much inaudible without your sound. And this is a song about one of inspiration to me, a guy called David Young. He was a British sound engineer and record producer. And he did, if you ever listen to all the Strange Velvet Underground records, the ones with John Cale and every John Cale record in the 70s and 80s, he was the engineer on them. In fact, he remixed a lot of John Cale's records because John Cale did such a bad job of it. And this was the guy that actually, first Happy Mondays record, David Young, not John Cale. It says John Cale on the record, but he totally screwed it up, so David Young had to fix it for him. So I'm going to say, and he was a British guy. He was real British. I think his dad was a conservative MP and everything. He was like, I'm David Young. I'm going to help you make a rock and roll record. And the story, he was such a veteran of rock and roll. When he was a young man, he was the live engineer on David Bowie's first stadium, in fact, the world's first stadium tour of the U.S., which happened to be David Bowie in 1974. And he was the young engineer. And back then, they didn't even have PAs that could do a stadium tour. So they were just blowing up the entire time. And he was the young engineer trying to mix David Bowie in 1974. And the speakers were actually exploding during the whole shows, every show. And they'd have to ship out new speakers for the next show. And but I'm going to tell you that again in the song, but I'll line it. Okay. He liked Cracker Barrel cheddar, whiskey and cocaine. He smoked them French cigarettes. I think they called him tame. He would wax philosophical over potato chips and beers after trying to make silk purses from all of my pig's ears. He told the story of how he did sound for David Bowie in 1974. Diamond Dogs U.S. Tour. Stop me if you've heard this before. He said as the band was playing, the speakers were going up in flames. There was nothing he could do about it. Ride the faders and keep praying. He liked Cracker Barrel cheddar, whiskey and cocaine. He smoked them French cigarettes. I think they caused the tame. He would wax philosophical over potato chips and beers after trying to make silk purses from all my pig's ears. All right. Now for years he played electric guitar for John Cale. They'll tell you John was a plagiarist and a con and they're a better man in jail. He said people think a career in music is all about making hits. Well, I got 50 years of rock and roll, and I'll tell you that's all shit. He liked Cracker Barrel cheddar, whiskey and cocaine. He smoked them French cigarettes. I think they called it tame. He would wax philosophical over potato chips and beers after trying to make silk purses from all of my pig's ears. Even when I was wallowing in self-loathing, he said everybody did anything worth a damn, never knew where they were going. He said keep a steady tempo, try not to rush. There's hours in every second if you just learn not to push. He liked Cracker Barrel cheddar, whiskey and cocaine. He smoked them French cigarettes. I think they call you tame. He would wax philosophical over potato chips and beers after trying to make silk purses from all of my pig's ears. Well, look at me now. I'm an old man just like he was. Some of these younger folks think that I know something just because. I'm sat here at the mixing board, I am the engineer. It's up to me now to make silk purses from all of our pigs' ears. Here I crack a barrel chef, whiskey and cocaine, he smoked them French cigarettes. I think they cause you tame. He would wax philosophical, full of potato chips and beers, after trying to make silk purses from all of my pigs' ears. Yes, he tried to make silk purses from all of my pigs' ears. That one. Oh.